Fellow Ugandans, for years since Uganda got her independence, there has been declining levels of democracy and rule of law. Billions have been lost in scandals. Mothers have died while giving birth in poor medical facilities characterized with no medical supplies. Youth unemployment is at its peak and the education system is alarming. Would you wish for a new Uganda where recruitment is based on merit, not through political patronage? A new Uganda where land and equitable distribution of national resources is secured. A new Uganda where there is justice, respect for human rights, rule of law and democracy. A new Uganda where there is proper governance, equal access to quality public services, especially health and education. A people-centered Uganda where there is a right to social justice. A new Uganda for liberation, servant leadership, social and economic transformation. A new Uganda where there is an end to poverty, zero tolerance for corrupt practices, gender equality and a people-centered government. A new Uganda where the future of our children's children is guaranteed. Then vote Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert for President of Uganda 2021-2026. People power, our power. National unity.
Hello everybody. Hello everybody. I think the hello everybody. Can you hear me? Because of recent I've been having problem with volume, but I hope I have sorted that out. Thank you for joining me. It's Demi Kiza Chisache. Can you hear me? Is the volume on? Oh yes. Oh, Joe Museveni. Okay, I can see you. Today I'm going to talk about neighbors. As it seems for now, neighbors, they are better than Ugandans. That is what it is. Thank you very much, Fred. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Today, I'm going to give you news. One of the news that I'm going to start with, my former school. I'm a student of Nabisunsa Girls School. The land is for sale. I was speaking to my sister who also went to Nabisunsa, and she told me that they don't know anything to do. Nabisunsa has got one of those prominent people in NRM government. Ruthi Nankabirwa was in Nabisunsa. So the land is up for grab. And then another news about the children. Out of 100 children which are born in Uganda, 21 they die within 1 month. Imagine the money which went to our neighbors, as I'm going to describe to you, that money would be good enough to look after our children in Uganda. And as everyone is aware that Museveni was in Tanzania launching the schools. Those schools, he paid the money in 2017 and he decided to name them in his name. But I'm going to tell you the good news about that. And Janet Kataka hasn't appeared in the court. She was meant to appear in the parliament to explain how she proposed to open up the schools going back, vaccinating students, teachers, and all workers. She hasn't appeared. And another news, Entebbe Airport, Civil Aviation Authority, they are denying that the airport is not going to be taken, that we are still within 7 months to pay off our loan or to start making a pay. I don't know how they're going to do it. Another news, this one is good, is about JB Muonge. Thank you. He has got a baby boy, bouncing boy, new fighter on the house. Congratulations, JB. Thank you. And they say hello to the little boy. And another news, fundraising for Cancer Wameli is still going on. He's suffering from cancer. Is it stage 3 or 4? I'm not so sure. Another news, if you are boarding Rwanda Airlines, you'll be required to quarantine for 1 day, for 1 night at your own expense. So people who are taking Rwanda Air, you have to verify that. And the other news I have, what is other news I have? So today I'm going to talk about, I will speak about other news as we go on. I'm going to speak about very little, very brief, that our neighbors, they have become better than Ugandans. It shouldn't be that way. If we have a good government, good leaders, they should be able to think about Ugandan first, not neighbors first. You are aware of that Museveni gave Rwanda $200,000 to build entire schools in Rwanda. But the schools in Uganda, children, they are still going under trees. Some they don't have walls, some no structure building. Some they cannot access. It's not affordable. Hello, Pam, I can see you now. And then another news, Tanzania. It has become into the news, but for me, I've been on the case on Twitter. I've been writing to the president of Rwanda, even before Magufuli died, that they should refund that money. That was decided in 2019 from 7 to build schools in Tanzania. But we have good news, which I'm going to tell you about that. It's bad news, but it's good news as well. That he decided to build schools in Rwanda. Thanks, Pa. And neighbors who are better than Uganda is Southern Sudan. Everybody, you are aware, Southern Sudan and Somalia. We have got UPDF. UPDF in Southern. What is it for? It is there for international. Museveni is holding international for a ransom that he is a superpower of the region, of East African, of that region. So he's holding them ransom. And that one is helping him to cling on power. And then another neighbor, which is better than Uganda, is Kenya. You can't believe it. Economy. How comes that economy is, they are becoming better neighbors? Because Ugandans now who fall sick, they end up going to Kenya for treatment. So we are contributing a lot of money to their economy. Anybody with a cough, they go to Kenya. Mayor went there, bronchitis. Juliana lost what? Asthma. Kadaga, exhaustion. Everybody is going to Kenya for treatment. So our hospitals, we don't have facilities, we don't have medication. But so far, our neighbors, Museveni is looking after our neighbors. Hello, Demi, hello, Farida. And then DRC Congo, you heard it, that they are going to build the roads going to DRC. So our neighbors from Museveni, it means they are better than us, and it shouldn't be that way. And then Burundi, they offered UPDF. You know, Nkurunziza was always in Uganda. Nkurunziza was always like a right hand, like one of those auxiliary arms to Museveni. So should it be that way? How much have we spent on this? We are spending $200,000 to build the schools in Rwanda. We have spent $1.6 million, 5.6 billion shillings to build the schools in Rwanda. And then Southern Sudan, we offer them UPDF. And those UPDF soldiers, they don't even have the money. Last time I know they were paid per month 1,500 €500 per month, but I understand they don't have it. Hello, Isaac. Isaac is our baby on a shot. Isaac, I was a baby, but now you're a baby, and I like you so much. Thanks you for your rousing show, which you did. I really enjoyed that. And I can't get enough of you saying Chibwetere. Well done, Isaac. Isaac is our baby on this Barry legend. I have seen it. So our neighbors from 7, they are better than us. They are making roads. They are building schools. We're giving them protection. And in Ugandan people, they are not protected. Ugandan insecurity is worse, is getting worse and worse. And as we speak for now, UPDF brutalized Ugandans. UPDF is in Somalia. UPDF is in Southern Sudan. We don't know what else they are getting to. But should it be that way, we should have a government and leaders who put Uganda first, who prioritize Uganda, who looks at building hospitals. Why do we end up going in Nairobi? And as it stands for now, I had numbers that say that all children, most of them for the ministers, they go to study in Tanzania, they go to study in neighboring country in Kenya. So we are making them economically well off. Whereas for us, we are having extravagant expenses. So it's annoying. But I tell you one good news out of this. Museveni, if you remember 4 years ago or 5 years ago, he said he doesn't want anything to be named after him. And his son went on to build this statue, UPDF, where it is. But what that tells me, Museveni knows the anger, the bitterness, the wrath people they will take on him. That is a good news. Museveni knows if he builds schools in Uganda, those schools will be taken down. He doesn't want to see it. You saw it on Black Lives Matters. All this history came out. In UK, there were so many statues. People, they never knew they are significant. They had to bring them down. So Museveni is looking at that. He can see Saddam's statue was brought down. He can see Gaddafi were brought down. He can see Mubarak were brought down. He can see all these dictators the way they go. For me, it's good news. For me to wake up and pass a school named after Museveni, it would have been the worst. Let them be in Tanzania, but we shall claim that. We shall claim our money. We shall claim the erase those names off, because we are not going to sit and watch that we see Museveni in the name. So Museveni, for me, good news, he knows what Ugandans think about him. He knows no one is going to tolerate him. And the best way he can say, let me build a school in Rwanda. Let me put up a school in Rwanda. Let me do this. Let me do it somewhere else. But that is becoming at our own expense. For me, I have worked it out. The budget they pass, the money is never there. Fellow Ugandans, believe me or not. The money they pass as customary, but the money is not there. You cannot tell me the budget was passed in June 2021 and the 9th of September 2021, you tell me you have spent over 50%. That is not there. That is not there. And for me to confirm to you that that money is not there, we borrowed 5 trillion for health, for COVID. We are borrowing money. How comes the health budget is being cut? Is under 2 trillion. And as you heard numbers say that the government pays 30%, only 30% towards the bill for the Ministry of Health. And for me, what confirms to me that that money is not there. They just pass it. Because, first of all, we have 18 trillion shillings. Our budget is 45, more than 2.5. So where do we get the balance of 26 trillion? It's not there. So the budget is not there. What they do, they create supplementary. This supplementary, when they create them, they know in the parliament they're going to pass it. They use this little money that we have 18 billion. And that is why Museveni told you that he wants sleeping MPs so that he can be able to pass his budget. So that is where we stand for now, that Museveni is wants sleeping MPs. The money is not there. The little we have, they take it out of supplementary. And that is the reason Museveni is saying, I will not give you services because you do not vote right. And that is a political bargain that they buy their RC, their chairman 5, that you look for us, secure this place for NRA, and we build a bridge. that is why you see those bridges, they are never long lasting. They are 3 days, they have broken down. So when we see that extravagance, one of the reasons one day I talked about, State House, Museveni is entitled for $500 million per day. It's 560 millions per day. And then they bring a supplementary of 800. Our finance shadow minister, Kivumbi Mwanga, was asking them, why do you need to separate an account? Can you believe State House, Museveni, earns the 3.8 million per month. Janet, Minister of Education, 15 millions. Their children, they are married. Why do we need to pay them $1 billion per day? We don't. Those extravagant, it is extravagant expenditure that we don't need. That money would have been necessary. We divide it, we divert it back to public services. We pay our civil servants very well, especially those on the front line. We pay the teachers very well. We pay the health workers very well. We pay the policemen very well. This is what can sustain a country. That is what can bring stability. That is what can bring good security, and that can bring good development without paying those people very well. This is why Bobby Wine proposed, as soon as New Uganda comes into power, teachers, health workers, and the police, each one was going to get 1 million. By standards of Uganda, it's okay. By standards of elsewhere, not really, because 1 million is about $200. But for Uganda, it's okay. So we are having extravagant, unwanted bill spending. And for me, I go for Matia Kasaja is the reason why we are getting into this mess. Is the person who approves money. As a Minister of Finance, he should know better than me. He's got all those qualifications to know how much do you have, how much do you spend, what can you spend, what is sensible, what's the priority. You cannot give out money to go and build schools in Tanzania, to go and build the schools in Rwanda. Museveni earns 3.8 million only. What we have to do, we have to go back to remuneration. We have to go back to salary, get the caps, know how much we pay people, the health workers. I was listening to Janet Museveni, and she said for her legacy that she has done, she has managed to get teachers to be paid 380,000. What is the money going to do? The rent is 200. The transport is about 15. The meals, they are 20. So what is, they are already in minus. They are encouraging people to end up that we are going to end up that people, they live on survival means. And once they live on survival means, expect criminality, expect people taking banks, bribes, expecting violence, expecting any sort of exploitation. So we can avoid all this. NUP, I was reading the manifesto. The manifesto for NUP is talking very well. And we have that legislative agenda where it has talked about how we are going to spend the money. We are going to look at the money. We are going to look at the caps. We are going to look at how much we can spend, how much we are going to look at funding, especially the police, especially organization, especially the businesses, where it is matters, except not and avoid, but avoid all these over expenditure. We are going to look at priorities. By the way, I forgot to tell you, good news that Freddie Rumbi is coming back onto our waves. Is coming tomorrow, and the victory goes to all NUP members. Victory goes to NUP members. For me, I'm not going to separate, and that is never me. Once we are working for change, we are working for change together. For Fred Lumbuye to see him back on our screen, back on the waves, it will be victory for NUP. Do you know how many NRM they feel sick? Do you know what NRM is trying to do? Do you know how the failure, the fall they have had is a big one? So NUP, we are really having significant gain. NUP, we are having significant. We are moving in good places. So fellow Ugandans, when your neighbor becomes the best person, that if your husband or your wife cherishes, yes, Susie, that's right, Jones. If your husband, if your neighbor takes your children of your if your husband or your wife takes children of your neighbor as the best, you know that there is something wrong. You know that that person has never thought about it. We know, everybody knows. Okay, let us take it as if we don't know. Now it's evident Museveni doesn't like Uganda. Museveni doesn't put Uganda as the number one, because for him to give that much to Rwanda to build entire schools is unthinkable. When our children, they are studying under the trees, when our children, they don't have a pen, when our children, they don't have a book, when our children, they don't have food, they don't have drinks, they don't have uniforms, they cannot pay for their schools. So we need, some seven has shown, for him to give money to Tanzania is unthinkable. People, they are not sensible. Museveni has got advisors. What do you advise Museveni to do? Museveni has got ministers. How can you approve that to be? And what are we going to achieve into that? DRC Congo, they are constructing roads. I'm calling upon Zake, Honorable Zake, is our commissioner. All these things, as a commissioner is supposed to commission, is the one who is supposed to endorse, go and build the roads in DRC. Don't do it. Go and build. Any commissioner, this is a very Jewish position. I said we have got one of those Jewish positions which are better than anything in Uganda. We have rope, which is good. We have Consase, chairman of Consase. Now, Joel, you can see how much he's getting out, how much he has been finding out. We have got advisory committee numbers. Everything NRM wants to do, she must know. And you heard when she reviewed that the government of Uganda pays only 30% towards our health services. So when you see your neighbor's children, they are being dressed very well, they are given something, maybe Museveni is trying to buy himself that wherever the borders, wherever, but we shall never accept that. But for me, for him to build the schools and they name them in his name, not in Uganda, sometimes it's bad, very bad. But 1% it gives me happiness that I'm not going to pass a school which is called Museveni, because Museveni is aging. Whether he likes it or not, he will be going very soon. He's aging. For me to pass a school, I have somebody who comes from Zimbabwe. I've got somebody who had a child with somebody called from Zimbabwe. But he had a sister called Grace and wanted his child to be called Grace. The woman said, never for me to get anywhere near Mugabe. This is how far people they are. I know somebody from Zimbabwe, another one, bought a champagne and had it for over 25 years. That she will drink it when Mugabe is gone out of power. The first time when he came to read and he didn't read and resigned, the woman cried. And when Mugabe went, that is when she had that bottle of champagne. So for us to have schools named after Museveni, it's no, we don't want it. It's not good to remember. It's good riddance for me. That is what I call it. So extravagant has gone on for so long. We have got so much that we can mention. But when we look at these public services, that they are really, they don't have money. There is no money in public services, but money is wasted somewhere. actually Matia Kasaja should be really ashamed. Matia Kasaja should be the person to come and explain explain Uganda where we are now. He should be able to explain why this money is being spent, why we don't have money when money is being spent everywhere. And there should be even shame all over that. I don't know what Museveni was thinking about for him to come up with all that, to do all this. It shouldn't be that way. How it is going to pan out is very big, but it's we to keep it up. Actively, we have worked very hard and we have secured and we have achieved very, very well. But I said to you, the budget they pass, the money is never there. I've got evidence. Museveni says he wants sleeping MPs. If there is that money was allocated, ministers, they would come forward and say, you did not give me enough money and I need more money. And Kasaja, if that money he was giving it to them, he would demand accountability. Neither of the two. So this budget they read, we can go back about 15 years ago. We have been having budget over our annual income, annual revenue. So in reality, the money is not there. I just seen a transcript today. The IMF also, we have got a lot of debt with the IMF. Very soon is taking over Uganda. It's news that Entebbe airport is being taken by Chinese. And Chinese, they are demanding. I was on their Twitter telling them and giving them evidence. So fellow Ugandans, neighbors, they are becoming the darling of Museveni. We are becoming the forgotten people that who don't even exist in the names, in the eyes of Museveni. But we shall not let that happen. So the extravagance happening somewhere is unnecessary, is uncalled for. NUP has got legislative agenda, which they have called curbing wasteful expenditure. They have got alternative, they have got proposal to stop that. NUP, we shall demand that money back. We shall demand the Tanzania government to give our money back. And what really worries me, Museveni gave in that money to Tanzania 2019. 2021, after 2 years, the schools are built. Accountability. They are showing him the schools, and they are good schools. So he's been in power 35 years. We don't have anything to see. We don't see the schools. We don't see the hospitals. We don't see good roads. There is no job creation, no housing. Uganda is full of ghetto. Uganda is full of slums. Unconceivable. When people they get sick, they end up going to Kenya. So we are making Kenya economically good. We are selling their maize, we are selling their milk. 1 minute they say no more maize from Uganda. They are doing us a favor. Uganda, we are becoming a laughing stock. We are becoming a laughing stock. So fellow Ugandans, thank you very much for listening to me. Other people, they are coming. LM Prezo Nkwetaga, I need you if you can. I don't know when you can ring me. I don't know your number, but I try now. I'll try. Maybe you on this phone. Moses Male, thanks very much. Godfrey Chilunda, always there for me. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, Matia Kasaja, and I'm profiling him day and night. Chilumba, Rashida, thanks very much. And Godfrey, Chelsea, Susie Jones, Lagosi Grace, Teeny Teen, Amanda Kamele, Farida Dauda, Amanda Kamele, Rodi Black, B. Benny, Wabobi, Safia, Barry Rachel. I can't go on because I want other people to come in. I'll be coming back very soon. But Matia Kasaja, we give him a ready card. Matia Kasaja, we show him a ready card and say, enough is enough. Matia Kasaja, enough is enough. We had enough of you. It's your time to go, and you should be going very soon. Love you so much. And then we continue looking. NUP is the only place for me. So there we go. That's a banner. That's a project for me. Thank you very much. Salute people power, our power. NUP everywhere, everywhere NUP. Musibe bulungi bambi.